Every year we have a new person who steps up and has a more fabulous horse than the next.
This has speed, it's got action, it's different.
Once you ride a horse that can really run and stop and spin, you'll be hooked for a while.
You know, you look at them and you wonder, how do they do this?
Rundowns, the sliding stops, dirt flying everywhere when they do it.
The sport of reining actually has an interesting history. It actually developed on two coasts. It developed on the West Coast and the East Coast. On the West Coast, it was primarily from a rein cow horse point of view. In other words, the old vaquero, the Spanish settlers that were out here on the West Coast worked cattle. The cowboys would get together at the end of the month or sometimes every once in a while and they would have contests.
The first step to reining is learning the riding basics. You want to have correct hand and body position. You want to know how to position and use your hands and legs well. You need to have basic understanding of how to control your horse with the reins. Before you begin reining, you've got to have basic horsemanship skills. You know, reining is an advanced sport when it comes to equine sports. So you got to feel confident when you ride. You can't be worried about falling off or your balance.
Hi, I'm Andrea Fani and this is Big Checks the Cash. She's one of my top studs. We're gonna start with circles because it's the part of the reining pattern that you spend the most time of. You're required to do at least 3 circles on each side, meaning that we're gonna do the same maneuvers on the left side that we do on the right side. Also, because if you need no leads on the horses, we're gonna do the same amount of circles and the same identical circles on the left lead that we do on the right lead. In a circle, the most important thing is that horse is not guided too much, meaning that my reins are loose, I'm not pulling on the horse's face, and the horse is staying in that circle seemingly by himself. Now I'm giving him cues to stay in that circle, but you won't be able to see him. And that's the whole trick in the reining pattern, to be able to give your cues to the horse without the spectators or the judges seeing it and deducting points from you.
And any pattern calls for 6 circles. There'll be 2 fast and 1 small slow, and there'll be a set of those on each end of the arena. When a judge is judging your circles in reining, what they're looking for in the large fast is a horse that is willfully guided through the center of the pen and all over the arena. They're looking for them to be running and putting an effort forth, and when you ask them to slow down, they're looking for that horse to just shut down and come back underneath the rider and be willingly guided into that small, slow circle.
One of the more eye-appealing maneuvers in the reining pattern is the turnarounds or spins. Now, each horse is required to do 4 spins on each side, so to the right and to the left. Now you're going to start at a standstill. When you start your horse is where you should also stop your horse. You're penalized for being over or under from the point where you started. This horse is moving his front end around and he's crossing his front legs. As always, I'm not pulling on him, I'm not giving him too many cues. He needs to do it almost by himself. The more speed, the better it is. Keep in mind that the finesse and the correctness is the most important thing. The speed comes afterwards. You're always going to get more points if a horse is correct than a horse that's fast and that's not correct. What a horse is required to do in a sliding stop is in a straight line gaining speed and go as fast as the horse is comfortable. Obviously, the faster it is, the better it is, but the quality of the stop is what's going to determine the score. Meaning that horse is required to slide with his hind feet and keep his momentum up front with the front end.
And they're looking for the horse's effort, they're looking to see how far they slide, how fast they ran to it. And the further and the faster you run just adds to the degree of difficulty to that maneuver.
It's worldwide now, so we actually, not only do we have the U.S. where it kind of was founded, but it's global now. Well, I believe we're in 24 countries now actually have reining horses. It is the fastest growing equine discipline in the world. We're seeing growth every year, and at this pace, I don't see it to slow down at all.
So we're all involved about supporting the person who's here, who's going to be the winner, and we have no idea who that's going to be.